Shalom Aleichem Rabotai. Good morning. It's Rabbi Kalman Akiva, and we are continuing the Mishnah Yomi in the 8th parak of Terumot at the 2nd Mishnah. Recall yesterday we had cases of people who were entitled to eat Terumah or had assumed they were entitled to eat Terumah and then were informed that as a matter of fact they were no longer or were never entitled to do so. Now Mishnah Bet says Kulam and all of these people. Now, according to the Bartanura, this isn't all of them. This is dealing with the Eved or the Isha, the servant or the wife of a Kohen, and they started eating Truma beheters. They were definitely allowed to eat Truma when they started, but now what's going on in Mishnah Bet? Shahaita Truma b'toich pihim. The Truma is still in their mouth when they find out, hey, you were freed, you're no longer part of the household of the Kohen, or the divorce is effective and the woman is no longer a part of the household of the Kohen and no longer entitled to eat Truma. The Truma is still in their mouth. What do they do? Rabbi Eliezer Omer Yivla'u. Rabbi Eliezer says they can swallow it. Rabbi Eliezer holds once the Truma is in the mouth, it is no longer fit for anyone else. It's already, the Kedusha has vanished and they can continue eating and swallow the Truma. Rabbi Yeshua Omer Yiflotu. Yeshua says they have to spit it out. It's still food. It's still, they would be enjoying from the Kedusha illegally now, so they would have to spit it out. Amru lo, they told him, this is talking about a real bona fide Kohen, nitmeita, you just got tame. He took a bite of Truma, and then he sat down, and Nebuch, he sat down on a dead sheretz, so he's tame. Nitmeita Truma, or the Truma just got tame. Rabbi Eliezer Omer Yivla. Rabbi Eliezer says, well, he was tahor when he started eating. The Truma was tahor when they started eating, so he could go ahead and continue chewing and swallow. Rabbi Yeshua Omer Yiflot. He says again, he has to spit it out. Mishnah continues, Tame Hayita. You were already Tame before he started eating. Utmeya Haita Truma. The Truma was already Tame. Unodashu Tevel. Or they find out this wasn't Truma, this was tevel, so that this was a non-Kohen eating tevel, which contains truma, ma'aser rishon, the trumato, or it was a Levi eating his ma'aser rishon, but they say, hey, you didn't take the truma, you didn't take the trumas ma'aser out. Ma'aser sheni v'hekdesh lo niftu, or it's ma'aser sheni outside of Jerusalem, or it's hekdesh, it still belongs to the temple, it has not been redeemed. Oshetam tam pishpesh, or he's chewing his truma. It's mamish, it's good truma, but he tastes a pishpesh. Lo aleinu, this is a bug, like a bed bug, and apparently it has a noticeable taste, and if someone's chewing that up, he does not want to swallow that. First of all, it's disgusting. Second of all, it's asur deraisa. L'toich piv, he tastes it in his mouth. Hareze yiflot. All of these cases, both Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Eliezer agree, they should spit out. He should spit everything out because it was never appropriate to eat in the first place, or there's lemaisa, there's a bug in there. So you do not want to swallow that. You want to spit that right out and not be over the isser of eating a bug or eating something that you were never, ever entitled to eat. Moving on to Mishnah Gimel, a similar concept, different application. Haya ochel be'eshkol. He was eating a cluster. Eshkol is a cluster. It usually refers to a cluster of grapes. So he was eating his cluster of grapes. V'nichnas minagina l'chotzer. And he's entering from the Gina, the garden, like Gan Eden, to Chutzner, to the yard. Like the Chutzner is the enclosed yard or courtyard around the houses or behind the houses. Now, this change of scenery is not just a change of scenery, Rabbi Asai. When food that is not yet chayev in meiser, it's not yet done, he could still eat it casually. You could eat a snack. So a person's allowed to eat a snack before taking tithes if the produce is not done. It's not yet in the chatzar. Once the produce enters the chatzar, it's chayiv in all the tithes. But before, out in the field, we allow the workers to eat from the food. And out in the field, you could taste it, take a snack before taking all of the tithes. But once it hits the chatzar, no. So what does he do if he's snacking on a cluster of grapes and he walks into the chutzner? So now this eshkol should be chayev in all the tithes. Rabbi Eliezer Omer Yigmor. Rabbi Eliezer says he could finish it. but we don't mean finish it inside. We mean take it back to the gina, take it back outside to the garden, and finish it there. Rabbi Yeshua Omer lo yigmor. Rabbi Yeshua says he can't finish this cluster of grapes. He would have to take all the appropriate tithes first because he's brought it into the chutzner. It's done. Hashecha leile Shabbos. Hashecha is lashon hoshech. That means nightfall. It means it's dark. It means it's time for Shabbos. So Hashecha on Erev Shabbos. Now it's Shabbos. Rabbi Yeshua Omer Yigmor. Rabbi Yeshua says that does not make something done for meiser, for tithe purposes, so he could keep eating this eshkol of grapes that he was eating right before Shabbos. Rabbi Omer lo Yigmor. Rabbi says no, he can't. That Shabbos, food coming into Shabbos, and it's intended for his suda, or he's eating it on Shabbos. Shabbos is koveya lemeiser. It's the lashon the Gemara said in the Gemara in Beitza. It fixes something to be chayev in all the tithing because all of your eating on Shabbos is considered kavua. It's not considered snacking. It's considered real eating, even if lemaisa you're having some chips, you're having a snack on Shabbos, but it's considered halachically kavua because all eating on Shabbos is oneg Shabbos, is the simcha and the honor and the joy of Shabbos. Every bite you take on Shabbos, so it's a musar. This Shabbos, Baruch Hashem, Shabbat Balak. This Shabbos, every bite you eat, think about how you're honoring Shabbos. It's kavua. It's dignified, and the glory to Shabbos with every single bite. Shkoyach Rabotai, Shabbat Shalom. Be well.